Everybody, welcome back to Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl Enhanced Edition, and what I'm going to be doing in this video is we're going to be doing kind of a little bit of a comparison between the PC version on maximum settings, which is what we're seeing here, and we're going to be comparing it with like the console Xbox Series S version, or it would be the same as the X one, which we're going to be using in the quality mode, and then we're going to be swapping it to performance mode at the end to give you an idea of how that looks. Now remember, these games, Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl, the original of the OG trilogy, came out back in 2007. So it's almost 20 years old, but with this enhanced edition they've fixed a lot of the bugs, they've improved the draw distance, they've improved quite a lot of the graphics, and they've added gamepad support, which I think is really, really important. And also they have added Steam Workshop support. If you own any of the Stalker original games on console or on Steam, you'll get the enhanced versions for free in your libraries, which is pretty amazing. So this is the PC version. I've got an RTX 3070. It's running lovely and smooth. We're getting at least 60 frames a second. I locked my monitor at 60, so it may well go above that, and we're at maximum settings. So let's switch over to the Xbox. So this is the Xbox. All right. So the sun is going down, so it's going to be getting dark in a minute. Now, in quality mode, I think we are losing a little bit against the PC in terms of textures and maybe the crispness of the game, but I've still got to say it looks very, very good. And with this new update, it definitely seems to be running smoother. Now I don't know whether you'll get the jerkiness as I move around like that. You might not. In fact, let's just check. Are we in? Yeah, we're in quality mode. Yeah. So it's not bad. The motion, it's got a good quality motion blur, so that's not really stopping. So if we take a look at this chap, let's swap back to PC, and then let's run down here. Let's have a look at this chap again. I mean, they both look pretty worse for wear, don't they? So look, back to the Xbox. Lenka Witcher. And back to the PC. All looks very nice. So let's take a wander around to the very famous little campfire that goes on. Look at this. Absolutely fantastic. Rookie village at Cordon. There's Wolf there. Oh, there we go. Normally they'll start singing a song or doing something, but it's all very, very smooth. The foliage looks very, very nice. And maybe we haven't been updated to something like the quality of Stalker Anomaly Gamma, when that's got all the bells and whistles plugged in, but it looks pretty good. Let's nip back to the Xbox. Let's put our binoculars away. We'll see some more of the dynamic lighting here, because one of the big breakthrough things with Stalker, with its engine, was things like the lighting and the ambience and how cool there, let me turn on my torch and you can see there how amazing the game looks in some of the more extreme lighting conditions. A bit like DayZ looks better, in the early morning and in the late evening. That happens in Stalker as well. But here we are, so we're at the campfire. Wolf looks particularly... That is Wolf, isn't it? With his little head torch on there. Yeah, that all looks pretty good, doesn't it? You think, how could a game over 20 years old, even if it has had a few graphical changes, still look so good? Right, back to PC. Yeah, very, very nice. So overall, I don't think we're losing that much between console and PC. They're very, very similar. Now, a lot of this is going to depend obviously on the power of your PC. Mine's an RTX 3070, which is a few years old now, isn't it? If you're running an older PC, that might not... it might struggle a little bit, but I can't really see it with these kind of Xbox 360 level textures. Let's take a look down into those soldiers who are coming up to give us some hassle. Classic view down there into the village. Let's switch back to Xbox, and what we'll do, turn on my head torch. There we go. So what we'll do now I will switch to performance mode. And what we get now, again, it's very difficult for you probably to see this, but what we're getting now is, I'm definitely getting 60 frames a second now on my little Xbox Series S. Things look slightly blurrier when you're moving around, but you know, the lighting still looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, that is nice. That is very nice and smooth. That is as smooth as the PC, that is. Hello, chaps. You all alright? Calm down. So there we go. How cool is that? Now, hello, what's he doing? He's having a kip. One of the advantages of if you own the Legends of the Zone trilogy or the individual games on console, one of the advantages of the upgrade on console is that it retains your save, whereas with the PC version, saves are not compatible between each other, so you're gonna have to start again. But there we go. So there we go. There's our little comparison of Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl Enhanced. This being the Xbox and this being the PC, and I think that they hold up, don't they? Both of them. I think the PC one does look slightly better, but I would have no problem in highly recommending playing Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl Enhanced Edition on your Xbox Series S, X, or your PlayStation 5. Because, well, in fact, I'd say play the old version on your normal Xbox as well, your Xbox One or your PlayStation 4. I think it came out as well, and I think you're going to have a absolutely fantastic time with these games. But obviously, the beauty with the PC version. No, that was the PC version, was it? The beauty of the PC version is it now has gamepad support, and it's going to have, it does have Steam Workshop support as well. So that what we should see is mods starting to come online that will help us do all sorts of wonderful things like edit saves and teleport around and that kind of thing. So there we go. Hopefully this video has been useful. If it has been, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. And of course, I'll see you again soon.